Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to knit this reversible scarf. It's very beautiful, it's very versatile because you can use it either from the right side or the wrong side. I love the stitch and the design they make when you open it. Look how beautiful it looks. And I love the design. And I have fringes in the bottom. As I make the scarf, I make the fringes at the same time. And once you finish the scarf, you have finished, with everything. You don't have to do anything to it. That painting in the back is one of my creations too. I made it last year, 2012, and I have it here in my studio. Now I'm going to show you option number 2 and how to put the scarf the other way around. This is the other way that you can wear the scarf, and look how beautiful it looks. It's completely different from the other side, and it's the same scarf. Here, when you open, you see the white stitches then. And I love these little white stitches that you see here because look like it's hand stitched into the scarf. It's gorgeous. I love the way they look, and like I said, it's either for a woman or a man, and these make a fantastic Christmas present, birthday present, just a present. It's beautiful. It's just to indulge yourself in a beautiful scarf, and it's nice and soft too. Even that I made it with Red Heart Super Saver, that is a little more thicker wool. It still look fantastic. Okay, here's the video on how to make this beautiful scarf. I'm gonna make just a small piece to teach you, but I'm gonna let you tell you how many stitches I give to mine, just in case you want to do the same lengths of mine. I'm gonna measure mine to tell you how long it is. To make the scarf, the wool that I used was Red Heart Super Saver in black and white. I'm showing you in blue and white because the black one is a little more difficult to see in the camera. So this is worsted medium 4, and the color is LT blue, and I'm gonna use white. I'm gonna use needles, the circle needle, because in a straight needle it's very difficult to cast 200 to 210 stitches because it's not long enough. But in a circular needle it's easier to work with. This one is number 7, the one I'm using. You can use number 8, you can use number 6, but if you use number 6 you take longer. So what else to say? You need scissors, and you need to cast 200 to 210 stitches in your needle. And my scarf measures 174 centimeters long, so imagine working in a straight needle so many stitches. What I'm going to say? You might think, oh, 200 plus stitches a lot, but we are working sideways in our scarf. You see, it's not that wide what we're doing. I did 11 rows of the design, and each row is, this is one row like that. I call them by row. I did 6 rows of the white and 5 of the black. You can do it the other way around. You can do the black, start with the black and then having the white in the middle, and then in the back you will have the white here and the black here, the other way around. You see, I love this scarf. I'm telling you, it's gorgeous. Look at the design, it's amazing. Don't gonna look like you made it, look like you bought it from the store. So these make fantastic presents. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna do a small piece because imagine me doing the whole thing in camera will take me forever to do just one row. It took me probably a day, 2 days to make that scarf because I did it in little pieces because I was doing other project, and in between I was knitting and crocheting to take a break from both of them. So I don't know how long it took me, but not that long. So let's start it. To know the amount of yarn that you need to leave to make the cast your stitches, You need a straight 7mm needle or the same size needle that you are using as the circular. You need a straight needle, and it's because I'm gonna wrap my yarn. You need to know the size of the tail you're gonna leave to cast your stitches, and I'm gonna wrap my yarn around 20 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now you're gonna remove. This is for you because mine, I already made mine, and for me I only gonna do just a few stitches. So for you to know the amount of yarn you need to leave for the tail, for those 210 stitches, you have 20 here. That's the length of 20. You're gonna grab it here and measure it here twice. That's 40. You measure it, leave the tail, and you measure half. That's 80. Here, hold this here, or 80. Go 80. Goes, leave that, let that go, and go 160. You see, by measuring from half and half, you go 160. And from 160, this one here, you only need 40 more. You divide this one in half, and that is the other half that you need to measure all the way to half and half for 160, for 200, sorry. You're gonna let go to that tail, and when you have the amount that you want at the tail, this is the tail, the part of the tail going to go at your thumb, like that. This is the tail, and this is the yarn attached to your ball of yarn. You're gonna do it like this. For mine, I cast my 210 stitches on the straight needle. It was easier for me to cast them on. It was a little tight, but I cast them on in the straight needle. And then when I start netting the first row, I start netting it in the circular needle, and I pass it from the straight to the circular needle. To cast on, you're gonna put your yarn like this, and you're gonna put your needle in the back. You're gonna pass it through the front here, and twist and grab that yarn in there. The first stitch is always the more difficult, but after that it's very easy. You have a V there, and then you grab from there and twist it and grab. You grab from there, twist it and grab the other one on the other side. I have a video on learn how to knit that I teach more slow how to cast on this stitch like this. For mine, I only gonna cast 20 because it's for a small piece that I'm gonna teach you how to do the design. For you, you have to cast 200 to 210, depending on the length that you like. But for that type of scarf, the longer it look, the better. So it's up to you how many you want to do. I cast mine on the straight needle. That way, I show you how to pass from the straight needle to the circular needle. You're gonna do a little knot in here. That way you don't lose the first stitch and get too loose. But we're gonna have the beginning and the end of the stitch very loose because we're leaving some tails for the fringes. Okay, like that. Here I'm going to start. This is the tail. Put it to the side, and this one is the yarn that we're using. You're gonna leave a very long tail like that, because when you put it like that, that will be part of the fringes, and you're gonna hold it here. You're gonna grab your circular needle, and you're gonna knit all the first row. It's a knit row. Leaving that tail there, all is the first stitches, and the end of the stitch is gonna be loose because we leave in a tail, but later we'll tie some knots and that will be fine. If you find that it is a little bit too loose, you pull the tail and that will bring it to place, like that. And you're going to continue doing a net row all the way to the end. The first row is a net. Okay, I will meet you here when I finish my knit row. Okay, after you did the first row, that was the one that we moved our work from the straight needle to this needle, was a knit. Now you're going to do a purl row, but remember, leave the tail for the fringes of the scarf. I know that this stitch is going to be very loose in the beginning, but you just pull them and they will tie. Okay, and later we'll do some knots. Okay, now you do this row of purl. I know 200 stitches is a lot when you say you have to cast on 200, 210, but remember we are working sideways. It's like a casting 30 stitches and do 174 centimeters long, but we're doing just sideways and we had to do last row. We're gonna do the design 11, 5 on the okay, 6 on the white, and I did 5 of the black. You're gonna do the one that you start with more than the one you're gonna do the contrast color. Okay, you pull these ones, these tails, and that will tie those stitches there. Now you turn your work around and do the same thing, but now you're going to do a knit. And remember, leave the piece of strand of yarn for the fringes of your scarf. Okay, I'll meet you here when I finish knitting this row. Remember, you are knitting 200 to 210 stitches. Okay, this one I'm making just a small piece to show you how to do the design. After I finish there, I cut my yarn and I tie a knot there and a knot on the other side. That way the stitches are nice and tight. Now we're gonna work with the blue, and I finished there with the net, and now I'm gonna start with the net. And the side of the purl, you see, I have purls here, but I'm gonna start with the net. I'm gonna leave enough tail for the fringes that I'm leaving, and you're gonna do this row as a net. We're gonna create a rib stitch here. I'm going to continue until the end with my net. I'm going to go back again with the blue. Okay? I will meet you here when I finish this row. I finish here the net row. I'm going to leave again another piece of yarn here, and now I'm going to purl. In the beginning, the stitches are really loose because we are leaving that like that, but if you pull them, they will tie, and later we make a knot there and they will be nice and secure. Okay, we're going to do this row as a purl. When you get the hang of it, it's very easy. you have to leave all the stitches, this stitch like that, all to the one side. That way you have the the right side and the wrong side. After you finish with this purl, you're gonna come back with the net, and remember to leave your piece of yarn or a tail long enough, and the other side too. Each time you go back and forth, you have to leave a tail. If you forget to leave once or twice, whatever, then you will put those up with your crochet hook. You will put some of the fringes. But you will know how many times you have done a side when you have 4 of each of them in each side, and you'll see what I mean. You see, I start here, I have 1. Now we're gonna come back. I will have 3, and then that will be the same side that I will finish with the blue. Now I go back again with the net, and remember, leave your tail. Long enough tail, and now you're gonna knit. And remember, you are doing this in a circle needle, but we are not going working circular. We are just going back and forth, turning our work around. I will be back when I get to the other end. Here I am at the end of the row. Let me pull this to make the stitch a little tighter. Turn my work around. Now we're going to purl. And again, we're going to leave the tail. You see, this is the last time I work with the blue because I'm going to have 4 strands there. And you count them 4. That's it. I don't have to come back with the blue. After this row, we're going to start with the white. You pull these ones, and later you will tie them up all. You do a knot here, and that's it. Well, you saw my scarf. It looked really nice. I love to knit the scarf because the work is fantastic. Crochet scarf, on the other hand, they are a little too thick and stiff because, when you do a double crochet, you put in 3 strands of yarn in 1 stitch. And with this one, it's just 1 strand of yarn, and it's nice and soft. Okay, I will meet you here at the end of this row. And we are purl. Here I got the end of the row, and like you see, I have 4 strands of yarn on this side. I'm going to cut the blue, and now we're going to start with the white. And now, here, each time you finish a blue, and start with the white, you have to start with net, okay? You see that look like you have to start with a purl because this is purl, but no, you have to start with the net. That way you get this in the back, no, in the front. Because if you start with the purl in the front, you'll end up with this in the front, no in the back. And you'll see what I mean. You grab your white, leave the tail, and start with the net. And that is each time. Each time that you're going to change color from the color that you're doing the, you see here all the nets, you have to start with the net. And if I turn my work around, let me pull this here a little bit. Let me tie, I'm gonna tie these blue strands, that way my work is nice and tight. I like to do the knot as I go, that way my stitches are nice and secure. There. If I turn my work around, you will see that I start putting the white in the back here. You see? Like I did in there. And that is by doing the net. And then we will come back with a net again that will turn in this size a pearl. It's very easy to make this scarf. And like I said, I did 11 of this design, 11 of these rivet. I did 6 white and 5 black. This makes gorgeous present. Now that Christmas is around the corner, for a birthday present or just to give to a friend. I want to make a hat too with the same design and some fingerless gloves. Okay, let me tie these blue ones here because they are a little bit too loose. I'm going to pull them and tie them. Now I'm going to turn my work around, and you see we had the same design in the other side. Now we're going to start again with the net. That way we have the pearl in the other side. You're going to continue. Look, I forgot to leave the tail there. But it's no problem for me because I will undo these few stitches. And I will leave then the tail. Like that. This is in the other side. Like that. Forgot to leave the tail, but if you don't want to come back, you just continue and later you just put one with your crochet hook. But since I was so close there, I just went back. Okay, I'm gonna knit. So I will be back when I finish this row. Now you have to do a pearl. You see? Because we're doing pearls in this side. And leave the tail. It's really difficult to record when you're knitting with these circular needles because this is so stiff that it's a little bit uncomfortable. Okay. I'm going to continue with this row as a pearl. And you see I have 3 strands of yarn in this side, so I had to come back just one more and I will have, what is the other one? It's hiding with my finger. Okay. One more of net and that's it. We'll start with the blue again. So, like you see, it's nice and easy. Now you're going to purl all the way to the end of this row. Here I'm going to start again with the net. And remember, you're working 200 to 210 stitches if you want the scarf to be nice and long, like mine. You start with this row as a net, and I know that I don't have to come back, because if I look here I have my 4 strand of yarn. Okay, and later when I finish this row I will tie it. Okay, I will meet you here at the end when we're going to start working with the blue again. I finish here, turn my work around, cut my yarn, and I'm going to tie these ones here. Let me cut this one. And I'm going to tie these ones here. Pull it first, you pull one by one to make them tight, and then you're going to create a knot. You can do your double knot now, but since I'm not doing my scarf, I'm just doing one knot because I'm doing another project with this little piece. I go to the other side and do the same thing. Tie a knot in the other side. Each time you work, you don't have to tie the knot, but I found that if you do it, your work will be better to work in the next row. So I like to tie a knot each time. Now I turn my work around. We're going to work with the blue, and we're going to start with the net. And you see in the back, now you can see why you have to do 2 nets, one after another, that way you get that in the back, and this like that in the front. We're going to start with the net, leaving the tail again. I'm going to show you one more time this blue and one white, and I'm going to show you how you're going to bind off your work. Okay, so you're going to continue, do this row as a net, come back as a purl, do the next one as a net, and come back with the purl, like that. Nice and easy. It's very simple, just nets and purl. No extra different stitches, no cables, no nothing. It's just net and purl. Okay, I'll meet you here. You're going to do this net. Remember, leaving the tails. And then when you come back, you finish here, leave the tail, come back with the purl, leave the tail, do a net, and come back with the purl. And I'll meet you here when we have those 4 rows. Remember, you know when you're done with the color, when you have 4 strand of yarn in each side at the same color. Now we're going to start with our last segment of our scarf. Remember, you have to do 11 of these or 9, as long as you finish exactly with the same color that you start. Now we're going to start leaving the tail. You're going to start with a net. And that is to do this section of purls, but we have to start with the net because otherwise we'll have the wrong side showing in the right side. Okay, you start with the net and come back with the net, and this is the last row. I'm going to show you. I show you exactly what I did for my long scarf. You just have to do it the size that you like. I'm planning to do a circular scarf with mine, for me, in black and white, or off-white, a natural color, and black, but in a circular way and with these stitches. So if I make it, I will teach you how to do it, and with bigger needles. That way it's faster. We're almost at the end. Now you will have to come back with the net again, and remember to leave your tails. Here at the end, you're gonna have 3 on one side and 5 in the other, or 5 and 5. I don't remember well, but I know you're gonna have 5 in here in one of this side of the design, because this is the end. Like the beginning, we have an extra row. Now you do this net, 1 purl and 1 net. Okay, and I'll meet you here when we do these 3 rows. We're doing the net, we have to do a purl and then a net. Here we're going to do the last row, the one that we're going to bind off or cast off. You still have to do the tail, and you're going to do the first purl. We're casting off or binding off and purls, and you do the second. Remember, after when we tie all these loose stitches will go nice and tight, and if you want you can pull them off a little bit to make it tighter. And now what you're gonna do is grab the last one or the first one and pass through the top of the last one, and you do the first one. Now let me pull this here, and you're gonna have 5 strands of yarn at the end, okay, in each side. You do the next one, grab the first one, pass through the top of the last one, and that's it. And like that you're going to bind off or cast off the last row of your scarf. If you find a little difficult to bind off or cast off with the needle, you just with your nail lift the last one, grab the needle with the needle and just do it. I'm gonna do a fingerless glove for this set. Since I'm planning to make a hat, I'm gonna make some fingerless glove. Okay, I will meet you here at the end when I finish banding off. By now you will see how I do it. Like that. Let me do it one more time. Like that. And you will continue until the end. Here I have my last stitch in my hook or in my needle, and I'm gonna cut the yarn. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit, open it and pass it through. Now you will have 5 strands in this side here that you're gonna divide it 3 and 2, and you're gonna tie your knot. You're gonna pull them, that way you tie your stitches, and you're gonna tie a double knot. I only doing 1 knot in mine because I'm doing something with them, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing with mine. 2 little, because I did it one in Spanish, one in English, exactly the same, and I will show you what I'm doing with my little miniature scarf. Go to the other end and do exactly the same thing, 3 and 2, and then tie your double knot, but I just doing 1. Now in one of these I only have 3, and is in this side here I'm gonna remove, and you will do in yours is this, because you will have 3 and 2. You remove your knot, you grab a piece of yarn of the same color that is supposed to be there. You grab a crochet hook and you pass your yarn to make it 5 in this side too. That way you have the same amount in both. And you just tie your knot. 3 and 2, and you tie your knot. After that, you're going to cut your fringes to the length that you like. All of them even, an even length. I'm going to grab mine, put them like that. Even. And I'm going to cut. Like that. You see? This is what you're going to end up. Your scarf will be like that, but bigger. Look how nice this look. And this is what I mean by reversible. You can use both sides of the scarf. It look beautiful both ways. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my little piece. And I give me the idea. I'll do a fingerless glove with this design, but bigger, of course. This just a little, cuff there on each side of my arm, and they look nice. I'm gonna do some fingerless glove with this design like that, and with this in the top. They look pretty nice for a teenager or a young girl, or even for anybody that like a little bit of, ruffles. And to do that, I will tie them out here, each tie, and then make a circle, and I will have another one for my other hand, just like that. Well, I hope you like this tutorial on how to make this reversible scarf, and give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber, and have a great day. Bye.